Okay, this topic is about finding the lowest common multiple. It's about finding an unknown integer x given the lowest common multiple of three numbers. Okay, in order to do that, let's express all the given number in terms of prime factor. 10 will be equals to 2 times 5, and 15 is equals to 5 times 3. X, we do not know the prime factor of x, so we leave it blank first. And the LCM, which is 90, if we prime factorize 90, we actually get 45, 3, 15, 3, 5, 5, 1. We will get 2 times 3 square times 5. Notice that I ordered the prime factors in order so that it's easier to see how do we find x. Okay, looking at this, we know that to find LCM of three numbers is actually taking the highest index from each prime factor. So just fill in the blanks with filling the power with numbers so that it's easier for us to see. We can see that this is actually 0, this is 2 to the power of 0 is 1. Actually, we are just adding a 1 there, but in this case, it's easier for us to compare the power. Okay, you notice that the LCM of these three numbers is 2. So, since 2 is 2 to the power of 1, x can have a factor 2 or do not have a factor 2. So, it's actually optional here. So, we don't really need a 2 for x. But for 5, it's the same thing. Since both have the factor 5, 1 and 1, so the LCM will still be 5 to the power 1. But if you look at the prime factor 3, okay, the factor for 10 will be 3 to the power 0, and the factor for 15 is 3 to the power 1. But the LCM, which is 90, contains 3 square. This means that the integer x, the smallest that we can have is we need a 3 square here in order for this whole thing to make sense. So this is something that we require. So the smallest x that we can have, one of the possible value will be 9. Okay, but there are actually other possibilities. We can have a 5 here. We can have a 5. If this is a 5, then the highest index that we have is still 5 to the power 1. So another possible value will be 9 times 5. Okay, we can also have a 2 here. If we have a 2 here, it doesn't affect my LCM at all, unless it's 2 square. Therefore, the other possible value will be 9 times 2. Okay, we can also have 2 and 5 together at the same time. So, the last possible x that we can have will be 9 times 2 times 5. Evaluating this, we have 9, 45, 18, and 90. So these are all the possible value of x, as you can see here. Okay, the question can also ask in the inverted manner such as this. The highest common factor of three numbers is actually 6. Find all possible value of x. So we do exactly the same thing. 198 is for 324 x, and my HCF, which is 6, is equals to 6 is actually 2 times 3. And from a previous video, we know that 198 is 198. If we prime factorize 198, we have 2, 99, 3, 33, 3, 11, 11, 1. Prime factorizing 324 will be 324 divided by 2, 1, 6, 2 divided by 2, 81 divided by 3, 27 divided by 3, 9 divided by 3, 3 divided by 3, 1. So the prime factorization of 198 will be 2 times 3 square times 11. for convenience, we write down the power 1 here to make things obvious, since HCF and LCF is looking at the index of the power. Okay, so we were at 324. 324 will be 2 square times 3 to the power 4, and that's all. Okay, recall that the highest common factor of 3 numbers is actually taking the lowest power that we have. So looking at this situation here, right? Okay, we can have a 2, or we can have a x can have a factor of 2, or do not have a factor of 2, since we already have the lowest, which is 2 to the power 1 here. But if you look at the second one, the second row, this row here, we can actually see that the lowest power of these 2 numbers is 3 square, but my HCF is actually 3. This means that x must contain 3. So in this situation here, what we can say is that one of the possible value of x is 3, and this is happen to be my smallest possible value, since we need this 3 here in order for the whole question to make sense. Now we can have a 2 here, it doesn't affect the consequence at the back, so another possibility will be 3 times 2. And we can also have 11 here, which do not have any effect as well, since we have an empty space here, which is 11 to the power 0, so it doesn't change anything at all. So another possible value will be 3 times 11. And of course, the last possible value will be 3 times 2 times 11. Okay, so evaluating this, we have 3, 6, 33, and 66. These are all the possible value of x. Notice that in each possibility, 3, we will need a 3 there as one of the answer. If not, the whole question will not make sense, as the HCF of the 3 numbers is 3. We have a 3 here. So I hope you can understand what I'm doing here. Thank you.